Attention gamers, we got the top 5 tech products that are under $50 coming at you hot.
And the best part about this roundup is we have a wide range of products to choose from that is tested by all the team members at Toasty Bros HQ. They use these products for several days, got their use case with them, and they're gonna present them to you after a word from today's sponsor.
If you've been thinking about upgrading your laptop, now is a great time to do it with today's video sponsor, Micro Center. Micro Center is currently running their laptop savings event. Whether you're headed back to work, school, or just want a faster system, there are some really solid discounts worth checking out. One deal that caught my eye is this Dell 15 with an Ultra 7 225U processor and 16 gigs of RAM for just $700. And if you're in Texas, here's some exciting news. Austin is getting its very own Micro Center. The new store is opening soon. If you sign up ahead of time, you'll be able to grab a free 128 gig flash drive when the store officially opens. Micro Center also has something happening in Ohio. Their Columbus location is getting a refresh, and they'll be celebrating with a grand reopening. And if you're nearby, you can sign up for that as well and get a free 128 gig flash drive when the event takes place. And if you like keeping up with new hardware launches, tech trends, and everything happening around Micro Center, be sure to check out Micro Center News. It's a great way to stay informed on what's happening in the tech world. If you'd like to learn more about Micro Center and all their crazy offerings, check out the links in the description down below. Big thanks again to Micro Center for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
So if you haven't been here before, you guys know we got a big team here, and basically what we like to do is give all the guys here, including Matt and I, a budget of $50 or whatever budget we decide on, and they have to pick out their own product, whether it's on Amazon, Newegg, Walmart, wherever it may be. It's got to be somewhat tech related, and usually we like to pick things that you guys at home may not be thinking about.
And with these items, we really focus on stuff that PC gamers would like to use on their desk setup or in just their personal lives. But honestly, when we give them budgets of $50, we just let them get stuff they think is cool, they can test it, and then tell you guys all about it, and you guys at home can determine whether or not it's a good tech upgrade for you. So not wasting any more time and dive into the first product. Hey Chud, it's time to film your product.
Oh, yeah, I love filming products. Hi, I'm Zach. I'm a graphics designer, video animator, ad spot guy. I do all the shit they don't want to do. My product is the Govee Glide Lights. These are $49.99 right now on Amazon. In the box, you get 6 pieces. This is one piece right here. It's 15 inches long, so total you get 6. It's meant to be run in 2x3 sections. Here on the power adapter, as you can see, there is 2 power pins right here. So how it works is there's going to be 4 of these right here where there's a female end and a male end, and then there's going to be 2 of the ones that are female with a terminated on one side, so you can do 3x2 sections. I think you can do more if you like just kind of make it work. We'll test that in a minute. But these are just RGB lights. They're adjustable. They have the app. They do have this on here as well to where you can just change the colors manually. The app gives you a ton more control, but let's just go ahead and plug these in real quick and show you what they look like.
Oh, it's bright.
So, as you can see, it works. And overcome and add another section, you just, hold on, I'm trying to show how easy it is.
Sometimes he misses.
Look, boop. And all of a sudden, it's working. There's not a ton of options on this. It's mainly just solid colors, and I think there's one strobing mode where it just kind of cycles through all of them. Now, we're gonna test to see if we can go past the advertised 2x3 sections and do more. So, piece 3, and let's put on piece 4.
So you can't.
It doesn't look like you can. Maybe in the app you can adjust, but just to be safe, I would say it looks like you have to do 3 per section. But what you could do is just use the terminated end like you're supposed to. And then when you get another section, you could just adhere it right next to it, and then that's how you can get like a super long section. But you know, then you're kind of limited to 6, I guess, because you have the L on the side end. At least with this pack, out the box without any adjustments, you can only run it in sections of 3. But as I mentioned, each little piece is 15 inches long, so you get 45 inches of RGB light. And then there is the Govee Home app. It is super easy to download and set up. It took like not even a minute to pair. So once you have it paired, this is it right here. It's connected. You can change the temperature of it. So if you can see, it's just changing between that. There's solid colors, so you can just do solid. You can pick your color from color wheel. There's scenes where you can change like it strobing between different colors. The sunset and sunrise are on like 15-minute timer, so it changes and slowly adjust brightness. But yeah, lots of different options in here for color schemes. And then you can even DIY your own scheme. If you come into here, hit DIY. I made one that's like this pink and white color scheme. It just kind of alternates between those colors. And then here you can also change the brightness of it. So max brightness, it's pretty bright. Like I'm sure it's getting blown out on camera pretty well, but even on 1% brightness, it's a nice little color, you know? There's also a timer feature, so you can set a timer on it. So if you want it to, you know, turn off when you're going to bed or just have it run for an hour, you can set that up as well, which is pretty cool. So honestly, for an RGB light that's under $15, the amount of customization you get for it is kind of crazy. There's a lot of different use cases for it. I know a lot of people will do these behind their monitor. in like sections parallel to their setup, so it's kind of like illuminating it. I'm currently in the process of moving, which is the only reason why I haven't put it up yet, but my goal for it is I plan on having shelves above my desk, and I thought having these on the back, kind of like this behind the shelf to illuminate everything on the shelf with, you know, color changing would be pretty cool. It might end up looking awful, we'll find out, but the good news is I can just move it. It comes with these adhesive pads on the bottom so you can stick it to the wall, but there are extra adhesive pads in the box as well. So let's just say you throw it up there and a week later you're like, man, this is awful. You can change it, or you can just buy some 2mm adhesive and be fine. So overall, totally recommend. I do think you need the app to kind of get the full experience. You can get away with just using the physical connector if you're kind of, you know, don't want to give your information to China, but I want China to know who I am. On to the next product.
All right, Jonah, what's your tech product?
This is the Yihua wallet tracker for iPhone specifically. This is for, it works with Apple FindMy, and these are right now about $30 on Amazon for a 2-pack. I bought these individually because actually I bought 2 of them. One's in my wallet right now, but I bought this specific model because I like the look of it. So I spent like an extra $2, and it ended up coming with a free item as well, but that doesn't really matter. This is the product though. I wanted to get one of these for my wallet and for my car. So these are a nice AirTag alternative. They're slim and they work, like I said, in the FindMy app. Super simple packaging. You just open it up. You have a manual right here to connect it and everything. And then you just pop it out like this. And upon initial impression, this wallet tracker is extremely light. I thought it would be kind of heavy and have some heft to it, but it almost feels like if you've ever had or felt a laptop battery, it has that same kind of feeling on the outside, but it's extremely light. And it's got like these glossy little circles to it for design. You have your utility button, and this has a built-in battery. It's not rechargeable, but they should last for a few years. And they, like I said, once they're powered, they're connected and they're connected to your phone and your app. They kind of work seamlessly and they kind of work like any other AirTag. These are pretty cheap. They're a bit under the, I think, AirTag price point, especially if you buy multiple of them on the Amazon listing. They come in multiple colors too. You can pick between pink, blue, black, and thickness-wise, I would say it's about 2 credit cards in terms of thickness. So it's a bit thicker than your average card, but it'll fit nicely into a wallet. Like for instance, mine, I have on the section right here where my money goes. So it's not too bad. Setup is super easy. I already set up the second one that I have just so I know what I'm talking about whenever I'm showing this to you guys. But essentially how it works is you go into your FindMy app on iPhone, and then you add plus items. You have your AirTag, MagSafe, and then other item. This counts as an other item because it's not from Apple. But essentially how to turn it on, you are going to hold your button for 3 seconds, and that's gonna be the on, and then you're gonna start searching for other items and how to pair it. It actually automatically did it. But if you want to, if it's not pairing and popping up right there, you'll double tap this and it'll make a little jingle, and that shows that it's in pairing mode, which it already is. And then you'll just press connect, and then you can add a name and you can add an emoji. This is gonna go in the car, and then it'll basically just have this right here. You basically just have finish, and then there you go. It's all done. And it even shows your battery life as well. So you can see the actual battery life of the actual card and chip itself. So you know if it's gonna get low on battery, you know it's not just gonna randomly disappear one day. But it has a way to turn it off as well if you want. You'll basically double tap the pairing thing, and then you're gonna press 5 times, and now it's turned off.
So sad.
I know, right? It's like so sad, but we're gonna turn it back on. And then the sound, because obviously like your traditional like locating accessories and things like that, when you're looking for like what do you call it? When you're looking for like an Apple Watch, this has a sound as well, which is useful if you forget or lose your wallet or something like that. It has a little green light. Yeah, it's honestly not a bad product. It's super easy to connect. It even has this loophole here on the side, so if you want to attach it to like a key ring or something like that, I don't think I would because of how large the actual card shape is, but it's there if you want to attach it to something or hook it to something so it doesn't fly off or you lose it as easily. But that's pretty much the product. I think if you have anything valuable, especially in this day and age, and you want to keep track of it, this is a good alternative. It's not as bulky, it's nice and thin, and you can put it in a wallet, purse, anything like that, that'll work just fine. And I like the aesthetic of it too. So not a bad product. So that's my product. Hope you guys enjoy it. Links in the description down below. Let's move on to the next person.
All right, so my tech product might take a little bit of learning, but it is a really, really useful product, and that is a soldering iron. So this specifically is the Yihua for $40 on Amazon. You can get it in different colors. It requires some very minor assembly, which I have plenty of videos showing how to assemble it. This soldering iron, I would consider more of a soldering station because you get a few things here. So number one, we have our soldering iron. It is a non-detachable one, so that is one downside with this. Most of them you can plug in, so if the iron ever goes bad, you can replace it. With this one, it's 40 bucks, it's cheap, but if this ever does go bad, you technically just have to replace the whole unit. The other thing we have here is a sponge. So this sponge is gonna be to wipe off your excess solder. This is how you keep your actual tip nice and clean after you get it tinned. You can see right now mine's already pre-tinned because I have some B-roll of me soldering this little guy right here. Well, speaking of that, I think these are so cool. These are called helper hands or helping hands. And basically, these are little, oh, I just lost my rubber. These are little kind of like mandible grabbers, and they're actually surprisingly useful, like way more than you'd probably think. It's really hard when you're trying to do this. I mean, because you can't hold it with your fingers, you're gonna burn yourself. And there's been so many times where I'm just like fumbling trying to solder something. You're also trying to do this at the same time, like actually feeding your solder. So that's really cool. You can basically do it like that, which speaking of solder, this is cool. It's a spool holder. It looks like it could technically hold 2 spools at once. I never even thought about that. So you could have 2 different materials or thicknesses here. And it does come with the solder. It comes with everything you see here, by the way. We ended up getting, let's see, 0.8 millimeter. This is lead free, and this is the makeup of it. So it's mostly tin, a little bit of copper. So that's cool. You're not gonna get lead poisoning today. It has like a whole station where you can keep all of your different tips. It even comes with all these tips, and there's even extra. These tips aren't bad either. They're actually pre-tinned. You can tell because of how the tips are like a slightly shinier color. You really want that. That kind of makes, you know, makes or break when it comes to a tip. It does come with these. These are the best type of tweezers you could ever have. They're angled and they're very, very sharp in the end. So they're actually good for things like this. You're gonna be doing a lot of cool little micro soldering jobs. Notice how I can actually grab this resistor with full force and, you know, desolder if I wanted to. Super nice to have. And then, oh, I thought this was cool. I just noticed this earlier. This little wrench right here, it has a spot even. Pretty cool. And then obviously, we have a holder for the soldering iron. And then the last thing that it came with, they called it a desoldering pump. I've always called it a solder sucker. Yeah, there we go, solder sucker. These things are crazy. You basically push this down and then it goes really fast with an extreme amount of vacuum. And basically how these work, and I'm gonna try to demo it for you guys, is you basically get the solder pad really hot, put it over really fast, and it should suck the solder out. It's not very easy. But let's go ahead and turn this thing on. So power buttons on the back, it's a rocker switch. This is super cool. It's actually a digital display and watch as it goes up to that number. So 670 degrees Fahrenheit. It actually does heat this quick too, no joke. Like I'll actually show you. I mean, these things aren't always accurate, but let's see. This lead free takes a little bit hotter to melt. So I'm gonna say right around 600, we should be able to start melting it, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Very quick, way quicker than some of the even nicer soldering irons I've had over the years. Usually you have to give those a few minutes to warm up. That took, I think, 20 seconds, if that. Let's try to solder something real quick for fun. This is the easiest case scenario. Super easy to solder something like this. This is a lot more challenging, like trying to do desoldering. So what you gotta do is you wanna create a bridge with the heat, trying to get this joint to basically get into like a liquid form. Maybe a little more heat too, actually. Yeah, Matt's like breathing all this in. All right. I feel like we got this warm enough. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we didn't get it. Well, you know what? Maybe we can demo it somewhere else. Let's, can I get this to stick to here maybe? Okay. You remember when I said they're really hard to use? They're pretty horrible. There we go. We actually got it that time. And then this is what I was talking about with the sponge. It's really nice if you get a sponge and some copper, but you see how clean that is now? So that's like nice and re-tinned, no oxidization yet on it, ready to solder another thing. One thing we could do for fun, I don't know if Matt's ever really soldered. Matt, would you like to try to take this apart here, what I soldered earlier? I'm gonna have you hold the tweezers with this side, and then you're gonna use the soldering iron and just heat and pull while you, not like hard, just a little bit of force pulling while you're heating it.
Let's do it.
See if you can desolder that. So just kind of hold it on there. You may need to add some solder because when you're soldering, you want to try to get all of that like warm, if that makes any sense. Yeah, hold it right there. That's a good spot. Yep, there you go. So Matt just desoldered something for the first time. Yeah, and then you can just wipe that off, and then yeah. And the other good tip with a soldering iron is eat when you're done, and also just don't forget to turn them off. That's really what ruins soldering irons, is leaving them on forever. Pretty simple. So yeah, soldering iron, super easy to use. I think this is a great first product for someone to get who wants to get into any type of product repair, and it's not just limited to computer parts. You can use this for automotive. You can use it for household stuff. You can even do jewelry repair with soldering iron. So there's pretty much limitless possibilities. So let's go grab the next person for their product.
Now my product is very straightforward, but one that has a very particular twist on it that's a little bit different than other ones on the market. This right here is the intpw or intpw. This is a 9-port aluminum powered USB hub. The powered part is important because you can buy a lot of USB hubs on the market, but the biggest downside I've always had with them, especially if you're trying to charge devices and you want to use this hub plugged up to a PC, is it doesn't really give you enough power over that single USB port to power every device you want to plug up, normally losing power or having disconnect issues with things like webcams and stuff like that. So having one of these with all the ports and options available make it easier for me personally to have this on my desk setup and plug up multiple devices at home and not have to worry about any sort of disconnect issues or not being able to charge my devices properly. You get your power brick, which is your standard 65 watt. Here's the cord that goes with it, so you can plug it up to the wall. And then you have your actual dock itself. Now, the dock definitely resembles something that a Mac would use. It is very Mac-like, so if you're running like a Mac environment or just anything Apple, this will fit into your setup very nicely. As you can see, we have a ton of USB ports. So these are all USB-A. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and then 3 USB-Cs. It very nicely tells you what each port is capable of. So this sector of ports right here can do 5 gigabits per second transfer. This over here can do 10 gigabits per second transfer. And these over here will give you power ins or more power out. So these are the ones when you have plugged up to, let's say, a PC and you want power out, you get 45 watt charging on both of these. But obviously the math don't math. If you have a 65 watt brick, you're not gonna be able to run 45 watts across both at the same time, but you can still charge a decent amount of smaller devices on this dock. Now me personally, I did hook this up to my PC with the included USB-C to C cable, this guy right here, which you do plug in on the side, on the same spot where you do the power. And realistically for me, it was okay being in my PC, but I honestly had enough USB ports already to where if I wanted to plug up something to my PC, I would just plug up to my PC and not use this dock. So what I use this for instead was kind of just forego this and kind of turn this into almost like a charging station. So I took my power brick, I plugged it up, sat it next to my handhelds on my desk setup at home, and from here, if I have any small devices, like I have a Ring doorbell battery that I like to recharge every couple of months or have one on standby while the other one's in the Ring, I like to use this where I can just keep it plugged up right there. Or if I have any other devices I can just keep plugged up, they'll all stay charged very nicely on this one dock and have a decent amount of power for especially those smaller devices that don't pull a ton of watts when they're charging. Now this does come in at $45.99, a little bit below $50. So if you do feel like you will use all of these ports, this is a really good investment. And if you do find yourself using one with a PC that you feel like you're getting a lot of disconnect issues or you want more charging support, it's a good idea to get one with some sort of power delivery built in, because that is normally the biggest problem I see with people who try to just throw a bunch of USB ports on their PC with an external hub like this. You're gonna have issues if you don't have that additional power. So my product is very simple and it's very straightforward. You know you need it, you're gonna wanna buy it. Let's go ahead and swing it over to the next person.
All right, McAllister, what product do you have?
So I have the Anker Zolo 10,000 milliamp hour battery. So this is right at the price point of $50. And why I got it is because I'm pretty easy off about like charging my phone. I forget to do it a lot at night. So I often though will remember to set it up like this. I have a wireless charger at my desk when I play games and whatnot. So typically I'm used to setting it up like this. So having the little kickstand on the battery is nice for me, and it means that when I do forget to actually get this thing charged, I can at least be charging this on the off time, just always having this on because it uses USB-C. So if you're currently on a phone that uses USB-C, or if you're just like a PC gamer, this video probably, you probably are, you likely have another device that charges off this. So whenever it's off the thing, you can have this on there, and then say you're gonna go out to the beach, you're gonna go out to like a music festival, you're gonna go out somewhere, you can just slap this in the bag and have something easy that has a built-in USB-C charger as well. And this one's a 30 watt charger, so it does fast charging. So if you need to just charge your phone, kind of want it to be more on the regular, you can just slap it on the back like that. The magnetic will click it on if you're on an iPhone. But as for wanting to charge your phone faster, you could always plug this in to get the faster charge, but it can also do anything that does USB-C with 30 watts. So AirPods Max, anything like that. If you want to maybe do, I've not tried it, but it is the same connector for things like a Switch, and I believe a Steam Deck also charge off USB-C. I don't think it'll beat the speed at which they need to be charged, but I do imagine it could probably do it. So if you're maybe on a plane, you can just throw this on and be switching between devices, which one to play on, up to you. Overall, the convenience is pretty nice with this kickstand. You can do other things with it as well. You can turn it sideways if you're someone who likes having the, I don't know what they call this mode, but I think people have seen it on an iPhone recently. If it'll pop on for me here, when you get it sideways, it goes into some sort of like standby mode. Yeah, there we go. And maybe on the comments you can let me know. I keep seeing TikToks that iPhones are out. Am I old? Let me know. I'm really curious about this one. I didn't get 6.7, but maybe this one you all could teach me. But overall, this thing has a little indicator on the bottom for you to see how much charge is on it. The rough of it is it can charge one phone from dead to full one time, and then probably about halfway through another phone. That's about what we found the battery life is. So like 1.5 iPhone batteries is what you've got about here. So if you need to get yourself back up and then get someone else up and running, you'd be good to do that. But its weight is a little cumbersome, so I do notice that if you're not somebody who carries a bag, then this might be something that's not as normal as some of the iPhone batteries to just slap on there and leave it. But any battery is going to add some weight. That's how they get them so lightweight, is usually avoiding adding a giant honking one. So if you have any need to just make sure your phone is charged, this is a good way to do it, the Anker Zolo. And I think I'm the last one, so let's go ahead and bring Matt and Jack back in here.
So there you guys have it, 5 new tech products that you guys can check out for yourselves. And don't worry, all the links down below will link to the products and maybe even some alternatives, and they will be affiliate links. So if you buy any of those things, they will help us out for free.
If you guys want to see different price ranges showcased on the channel, again, we did this series last year, but now in 2026, we're going to start the budgets over again and maybe try some more niche areas, maybe specific products. Let us know what content you want to see in the comments down below. And again, hopefully you enjoyed this series.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, a lot of those products that you just saw are actually for sale at PCBros.tech. We got the PC Bros Marketplace where we sell a lot of those things at great discounts.
PCBros.tech. Whether you're looking for something maybe featuring an ad spot that you saw here on the YouTube channel or some other products, the PC Bros Marketplace is a great way to find some good deals on good tech and, of course, buy a gaming PC while you're there. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% of your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.